This $1 clean energy penny stock has a shareholder equity valuation of over $624 million, while its market capitalization has now dropped to over $424 million, making the stock approximately 50% undervalued. 2023 is set to be a big year for this company, and the current share price is only 1 cent above its 52-week low, while analysts rate this stock as a buy with price targets in excess of 100% above the current price. The stock that I'm talking about in this video is Gevo Inc., a biofuel company that has had its share price massively beat down over the past year, but as a company they have been making huge progress and signing huge deals. Gevo is strongly on track to become a leader in the sustainable aviation fuel market, and I will discuss this and much more in this video, including what is likely to happen in 2023, and I will analyze the company's financial statements and future expectations. And I will look at the logic behind price targets that are over 100% above the current price. So if you enjoy my videos and want me to keep creating regular updates, then can I ask you to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We recently passed 15,000 subscribers on the channel, but amazingly over 80% of my viewers are still unsubscribed. I'm aiming to get 200 likes on this video. Help me achieve that goal and turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss out on any new content. Now let's get into it with who are Gevo. Gevo Inc. is an advanced biofuels company focused on sustainability. Gevo addresses the market need for reducing greenhouse gas emissions with sustainable alternatives and is commercializing the next generation of biofuels with diesel and gasoline and jet fuel that have the potential to achieve zero carbon emissions. Gevo uses low carbon renewable resource-based carbohydrates as raw materials and is developing renewable electricity and renewable natural gas for the use in production processes, resulting in low carbon fuels with sustainably reduced carbon intensity. Their products perform well or better than other traditional fossil-based fuels in infrastructure and engines, but with substantially reduced greenhouse gas emissions. But Gevo believes that its proven patented technology will enable the use of a variety of low-carbon sustainable feedstocks to produce price-competitive low-carbon products. In addition to addressing the problems of fuel, Gevo's technology also enables certain plastics such as polyester to be made with more sustainable ingredients. So with lawmakers recently accusing big oil companies of greenwashing, claiming that they are running campaigns of climate misinformation, while Big Oil says that a misrepresentation of their efforts and point this is a misrepresentation of their efforts and point to their investments in carbon capture and hydrogen technology as examples that they are working to decarbonize. Then we have the Biden administration consistently announcing new initiatives to strengthen US leadership in tackling climate change. So I feel that there is a very bright future for companies like Gevo to thrive in the coming years. As I said at the start of this video, the company's assets far outweigh the company's overall valuation, and I will look at this closer in a moment, so stick around for that. Gevo currently operates several plants, a biorefinery in Texas in collaboration with Southampton Resources to produce renewable jet fuel, octane, and ingredients for plastics like polyester, and a plant in Minnesota that is situated amongst the cornfields, as well as Gevo's renewable natural gas project in northwest Iowa that produces biogas and injects it into pipelines. And then there is Gevo's Net Zero 1 project at Lake Preston in South Dakota. So as recently as November, it was announced that Gevo begins its RNG production, and the company also provided an update on its sustainable aviation fuel project under development at Lake Preston. CEO Patrick Gruber said that he expects the project to begin generating RINs in January. Work is also underway to collect the necessary data to secure a pathway approval to participate in California's Low Carbon Fuel Standard program. The project is already certified to generate renewable identification numbers under the Renewable Fuel Standard program, according to Patrick Gruber. Gevo broke ground on its Net Zero 1 project in September. That project is the first of several planned SAF plants under development by the company. Gruber said that site preparation is underway, pending the completion of necessary engineering work. Construction is expected to start in 2023 and the facility to begin operations in 2025. Now, these net zero facilities are central to Gevo's plans in the coming years, and Net Zero 1 is expected to transform renewable energy into energy-dense liquids. Gevo expects that Net Zero 1 would have capability to produce approximately 62 million gallons per year of jet fuel and renewable gasoline. £475 million of high-value nutritional products, and £30 million of corn oil. GEVO's goal is to have 1 billion gallons of sustainable aviation fuel production capacity by 2030. So in the past few days, GEVO have announced a major deal with Virgin Atlantic. Virgin Atlantic will purchase 10 million gallons of sustainable aviation fuel per year produced by GEVO. The fuel will be supplied by Virgin Atlantic's joint venture partner Delta Airlines. The agreement with Delta builds on an existing long-term partnership between GEVO and Delta and increases the use of SAF for the US West Coast. This new SAF agreement with Delta represents 20% of Virgin Atlantic's 2030 targets and is the equivalent to fueling more than 500 flights across the transatlantic from Los Angeles. So these numbers show just how big of a contract this is, representing about 20% of Virgin Atlantic's whole sustainable aviation fuel target. And Holly Boland, Virgin's VP of Corporate Development, said, "We know that SAF has a fundamental role to play in the aviation decarbonisation. The demand for airlines is clear, and Virgin Atlantic is committed to supporting the scale-up of SAF production at pace. We cannot meet our collective ambition of net zero 2050 without it." But this is not the only huge agreement that GEVO have in place. But before I look at this and the financial statements, could you take a moment to help the channel? Smash the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And check out the new Discord too, where in the past few weeks we have talked about some stocks that have done really well, such as COSM, Cosmos Holdings, and COMS, Com Sovereign Holdings, before the run-up, as well as a few other stocks. This is completely free and there is a link to this in the description below. As I said a moment ago, the deal with Virgin Atlantic is only one of many deals that GEVO have in place for the future. The company took a significant step towards becoming a leader in the SAF market by signing an agreement to sell fundable fuel with American Airlines last July. GEVO's portfolio is growing by more than 40% to the current 350 million gallons or more of SAF to supply annually to aircraft operators, which can generate funds estimated at over $2 billion a year, or about $11 billion or more over the next 5 years. These contracts are huge, such as the one with Colmer for a supply of 45 million gallons per year, which is estimated at $2.4 billion over 8 years. And that is not the only deal. That is only one deal for 45 million gallons per year. There are loads of these deals agreed for once the net zero projects are up and running. And we can see a list here of these deals. These deals are with major companies. Deals with ADM, Chevron, BP, Scandinavian Airlines, Delta Airlines, and One World Alliance members, which includes Alaska Airlines, American Airlines, British Airways, Finnair, Japan Airlines, and Qatar Airways, which plans to purchase up to 200 million gallons per year. So it is no surprise really that analysts are quite bullish on this stock. The most recent price targets set for GEVO over the past month see the stock at a moderate buy rating and a target of 365. Now remember that I said at the start of this video, this stock is trading at the very bottom of its 52-week range. So at the very least, I expect to see this make some small, quick gains. But I feel that 2023 could prove to be a big year for GEVO once they get Net Zero 1 underway. Looking at the most recent financial statements from GEVO that were released last month, we can see that GEVO had total assets of 729 million and total liabilities of just 104, giving stockholder equity of $624 million. Now remember that this is a company that has a market capitalization of just 424, so the company is actually trading at 200 million below its total net assets. And with the majority of the liabilities being long-term, with only 17.6 million of this being made up of current, while current assets amounts to $431 million, so this is an extremely strong balance sheet. Looking at the statement of operations for the year, we can see that GEVO are only beginning to generate revenues from RNG in the past few months, and have a loss from operations of $75 million for the year so far. Now, big initial losses are to be expected with pre-revenue companies, but GEVO are financially strong enough to absorb these losses for the next couple of years at least. So in conclusion, I think that this is a great entry point into the stock, and I will be keeping a very close eye on GEVO from now on. With the current price of only $179 and an RSI of about 30 right now, I expect to see some small gains next week. The recent extreme drop could also be impacted by the current price of oil dropping to its lowest since last December. But this is expected to rise again, and a rise in oil prices will make sustainable alternatives far more appealing. But what do you guys think of GEVO? Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this is a good entry point or not? Remember to check out the Discord. There is a link to this in the description below. It's completely free and well worth a look. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next update.